I was talking to a friend about issue that I was dealing with, and I asked him this question. I said, am I being narcissistic in this interaction that I'm having with this other person? And he said to me, I don't think that someone who is a narcissist would ever ask that question. And I think that that kind of applies in the same way to negotiations. Like, I'm scared of looking cheap or looking like a jerk or looking like I'm ungrateful or whatever. It's like, hey, someone who is ungrateful is probably not super concerned about appearing to be ungrateful because they don't know that they're ungrateful.
Yeah.
Right? They're not consciously saying, I am ungrateful for my employer for what they've done or whatever it is. They just are ungrateful. And that can kind of hold us back from a lot of the things that we might want to do or say because we're worried about being perceived in a way that we would never be perceived because we're already aware of that risk in the first place.
Yeah, I think that self-awareness is almost a double-edged sword because the greatest negotiators I know are extremely self-aware. They are conscious of how am I being perceived by others? So if what is it that person would deem as ungrateful? What is it that person would deem as greedy? And how do I work within those boundaries? What can I do to minimize that perception? So it's thinking about how is this other person thinking and feeling right now? And you're right, a narcissist really isn't all that concerned about it. They're just concerned about navigating things to get their way, and they don't really care who they plow down in that process. I do a lot of reading and learning about, I encounter quite a few narcissists, but I also spend a lot of time studying them. So it's an interesting subject area.
Okay, I'm taking that as an official diagnosis that I'm all good.
Well, I'm not a trained psychologist, but
no,
based on your question,
I heard you say it. You said you're not a narcissist.
Don't crawfish on it now. You gave him the award.